Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you're new, thanks for joining in. So today I want to talk to you guys about resiliency. And if you've never heard of resiliency or don't really know what that means, it's actually the ability to get through something or to recover from something during crisis within your life. So there's actually 4 different types of categories when we talk about resiliency. And those are physical resiliency, values, relational resiliency, and also mental and emotional resiliency. So when we think about physical resiliency, we can kind of think about, say we want to be able to run 1 mile without stopping. And say the first time that you ever try to run 1 mile, you can only run about 1/4 of a mile. But if you keep doing it and you become more resilient and you keep practicing and you keep doing it every day and you're consistent, before you know it, you'll be at that 1 mile and you'll be running that 1 mile without stopping. So that's just an example of what we can kind of think about when we're thinking about physical resiliency. Next is mental and emotional resiliency. Throughout our life and through every challenge that we ever go through, we constantly become more resilient depending on whatever crisis or whatever type of trauma or whatever life throws at us. We always get through it and we become a little bit more mentally and emotionally stronger. When we think of relational resiliency, this can be any relationship that you have in your life, whether it be with your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever it may be, what can you do to become stronger in that relationship? Maybe you're not very close with your dad or you're not very close with your mother. What can you do to become stronger? What can you do to strengthen that relationship? So that's what I'm kind of talking about whenever it comes to relational resiliency. The last category of resiliency is valued resiliency. So what do we value in life? What brings us joy? What do we constantly keep yearning for? So for me, for example, I valued my education. I valued becoming more educated. I wanted to get a bachelor's degree. I wanted to get a master's degree. So I kept setting goals. Those were my values. I really wanted that. As we're becoming more resilient in our values, we keep growing based off the goals that we keep setting for ourselves, and we keep achieving those, and our values become more accomplished. And one of the biggest things when it comes to our values, say that you're not feeling like your values are being met in your life. So what do you think that's going to actually do? That's going to actually cause you more stress, and we don't want that. So the more you keep getting closer to your value and what you value in life, the less stressed you become. And of course, we're all different, right? So we all value things and we have a different perspective on many things. So for example, if you're a female or you're a woman, maybe you value getting married and having a family and having children. Whereas another woman, she may value more her career and her education and her progress. She's very career driven. So maybe she may not value a family or having children right away. So as you can see, each person's different. We all value things differently, but most importantly, it's just important for us to know what our values are and what we are doing to achieve those values. Next, I want to talk to you guys about the 3 attitudes of resiliency. So the 3 attitudes are challenge, control, and commitment. So what I mean by challenge is, like I said before, as we're going through life, we're always going to face challenges. It's just part of life. But it's how we go through those challenges and how we get to the other side is what matters the most. For example, I'm 33 years old right now, but I look back at my 19-year-old self and I feel like the challenges that I was going through at 19 are very minuscule in comparison to the challenges that I'm going through now. So my mindset and my perspective through those challenges have allowed me to grow and become more resilient, so I can feel myself stronger than in comparison with my 19-year-old self when it comes to mental and emotional resilience. So as we're going through these challenges, we become stronger and we know that we can get through these challenges a lot easier than we could before. The next attitude is control. So how we control our feelings and our emotions and our stress during those times of crisis and during those times that you're feeling depressed, you're going through a hard time in your life. What ways can you control your emotions? For example, say you're in a very stressful working environment and your manager is yelling at you right to your face. At that point, kind of start processing in your mind what you can control and what you cannot control. Well, you can't control the way your manager is reacting or yelling in your face, but you do have the control how you're going to react to that. You can either yell back and get in more trouble, or you could start a physical fight, or you can become very mature in your mind and learn and to control how you're going to respond. So that's what I'm talking about, is being able to control your emotions, being able to control them quickly, and being able to be mature in these types of cases. The last attitude is commitment. So what I mean by this is, how committed are you going to be to continue to become and to increase your resiliency? Like the example I gave with your manager yelling in your face, practice those resiliency skills, practice controlling your emotions, try to control and to stay committed to these resiliency skills that you're trying to develop. This is a lifelong commitment. We will always continue to go through challenges. We will always continue to have to practice control. We will always have to stay committed to this. So that's what I'm talking about, is to be committed. And this is always going to be a life ongoing thing. Next, I wanted to bring up mindfulness. It's so important that we learn mindfulness. And if you don't really know what that is, it's actually the ability to really be more coherent and really understand what is going on in your mind and what's going on around you. For example, what are you feeling right now? Sitting at your desk? Are you sitting at your chair? Or do you hear noises in the background? Are you feeling hot? Are you feeling cold? Is there kids running around? Are you alone? Are you feeling loneliness? Are you hungry? Do you feel a sense of hunger? Are you full? Just being mindful of everything around you, being really in tune with your emotions. Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling neutral? Are you feeling really happy? You know, thinking about all of these things, like as a whole, in your whole entire environment, at that one given moment, being able to just open up your mind to really just know exactly what's going on around you, knowing your body. Are you breathing hard? Is your heartbeat beating fast? You know, just really thinking and listening and really just opening up your mind and clearing your mind and just really being mindful of everything that's going on around you. And that's exactly what mindfulness is. And the more mindful you are, the more in tune you'll be with your emotions. And the more you really know yourself and know how to keep that control and to practice those 3 attitudes of resilience and to really focus on those 4 different categories of resilience. So that's what mindfulness really is. And it's a really great technique to practice that so you can really know yourself and to really become more resilient. I really wanted to bring up mindfulness before I start talking about stress, because the more mindful you are, the more that you can help identify your stressors and what makes you feel stressed, how you feel stressed. For example, there's different types of people and how they feel stressed. Like for me, for example, I'm a physical stressor. So when I feel stressed, I feel my chest like tightening up. I feel my heart beating really fast. I feel the back of my neck really tight and tense. My shoulders get really tense. Those are all physical stressors, and each person's different. You could feel stress emotionally, relationally. You could feel stress cognitively. Say you're feeling really stressed and you really literally cannot think clearly. So that's like cognitive stressors. So it's really important to identify what type of stressor you are. And once you can identify what type of stressor you are, the more you can pinpoint on that stress and you can really focus in on that stress and be able to really change the way that you feel towards that stress. And I really want you to focus in on what I just said. Change the way that you feel towards stress. So it's scientifically proven if we can change the way that we feel towards stress itself, we can actually live a longer and healthier life. For example, many of us always think of stress as something negative, right? But you can actually really focus in on that stress and be able to think positively towards that stress. For example, say I'm really stressed about an exam. And I know that I'm stressed about that exam, right? So you really want to just focus in on that stress. And for me, I can feel my heart pounding. I can feel my chest tightening up. But what is it about that stress that we could think positively about? Well, Positively, I'm going to be able to focus in and I'm going to be able to do better on that exam because I'm going to feel so stressed and I'm going to want to do such a good job on that exam that I'm going to study more, right? So that stress is going to motivate me to want to study more. So that is a positive outcome that we could really focus in on when we feel that stress about that exam. And you can think positively like this about any stressor that you may be feeling. Lastly, I wanted to tie all this in and talk about SMART goals. So it's so important whenever you're trying to set a goal in life, whether it be losing weight, trying to get an education, trying to get a bachelor's degree, set a SMART goal. And that's S-M-A-R-T. That's an acronym. So I really wanted to talk to you guys about this. So let's use the example that we want to lose weight. So let's set a SMART goal. S is going to be as specific as possible. So what is it about losing weight that we can be specific about? So we want to only consume 1,500 calories per day. So we want to work out more. We want to increase this. We are going to measure everything out. So that's going to be M, measure. Is it something measurable? Yes, we can measure that, right? We can measure how many calories that we consume per day. We can measure the foods that we're eating per day. So that's measurable. A is attainable. Is this a realistic or an attainable goal? Can it actually be attained? And yes, it can. If you do the specifics, you do the measuring, you can attain it, right? So then R is, do you have the resources? Yes, you have the resources. Do you have the food? Can you go to the grocery store? Can you buy healthier choice foods? Do you have like MyFitnessPal, like I've mentioned in one of my other videos about how you can use that free application to really track your calories? And T is set yourself a timeline. Say I want to lose 10 pounds in the next 6 months. Set that timeline. That makes it more realistic. And whenever you're setting the SMART goal, write it down in a notebook. Scientifically proven, if you create a SMART goal, and you actually do the specific, you do the measurable, is it attainable? Do you have the resources? Write down the timeline. It is scientifically proven that you will increase your chances of achieving that goal. So set out there, do SMART goals, write it down, be specific, and you will really help yourself out in achieving those goals. Well guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video and I hope that I was able to help you in some way and that you guys were able to learn something from this content. And if you guys really enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give me a thumbs up. Comment down below. I want to hear your all's story, how you become more resilient. What types of challenges have you guys gone through? And again, please subscribe to my channel and please don't forget to click on that notification bell and I'll see you guys back next time. Take care.